yourself. So we could have a very good section. We could have a seamless section. We have Falsias from Ebonyi State University, Abakaliki. That's really, really nice. We have Abdul Moise from Lagos. We have Busayo from Lagos. Oh, IMD also dropped his LinkedIn profile. I don't know if the person is a he or she. We have Palesa. His name really looks nice. Oh, from South Africa. I actually knew that something was really, really different. Right. Welcome, Palesa. Welcome to Nigerians. It's not really a Nigerian thing, right? It's Africa. And we have Chuku from Port Harcourt. We have Emeka from Nigeria. We have Vivian, a pharmacist in Ibadan. Wow, that's really nice. I really like when medical people are into the. It's really, really put in. Welcome, Vivian. Really look forward to the amazing stuff we'll do together. We have Chud. Chud is based in Abuja. Um, we have Kelvin. Kelvin is from Uganda. That's really nice. Mobile development with Flutter, Kampala, Uganda. Hopefully, one of these days I should be in Uganda. Probably Chris will just sponsor my tickets. I mean, Chris, you can, right?
Say again. I think I
Chris,
missed that. Yeah, say again. I
I,
think I missed that.
I said you can just sponsor my trip to Uganda so I could just
Definitely.
visit Kevin.
Definitely. You could
Okay,
do your
I'll,
plan your
we'll,
next section for that.
we'll talk about that later. So we have Bethel. Bethel is from Abia. So right now we're trying to wait for others, but by like I said, by 8 minutes past eight, we'll just get started. We have Naomi. Naomi is from Ogun State. We have Elijah, Lagos. We have Tolapo from Lagos State, and we also have Rachel. We have so many people. I'm trying to see if we have other people from different. Okay, we have from Kaduna. We have Jonathan from Kaduna. Oh, we have Mr. E from Ghana. Nice, nice. We have Aditayo from Lagos. I'm looking at those that are not from Lagos. Oh, we have Melda from Kenya. Welcome, Melda. We have we have so many people, so many amazing people that I really, really look forward to We have Oyin from Osogbo, Oyo, Lagos. It's really amazing to see that we have a diverse learning system whereby different people could actually like come together to learn, and it's really a great thing. I mean, it's not just a particular place in let's say oh people tech people are just based in Lagos. No, it's tech is something that we already have almost everywhere, and from this bootcamp, I could see that we have a diverse community. So yeah, just 2 minutes more while we wait for others. You could still really love to share with us here. Once again, my name is Kausar Moshud and I'm the community manager. So yeah, I would share the YouTube live streaming with us also in the comment section. So I think once we get to 150, people might not be really able to join. So I could just share that also, but in the meantime, welcome once again. Oh, I think we have three people and raised. Um, Oluchi, you can go. Oluchi, you want to say something? How about Tai
No,
Oladosun?
no,
Do you want to say
sorry.
something? Okay, you could just unraise the hand, please. I could see Desire Isaac. I don't know if it is Desire or Desiree. Hmm. That's really, 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 really ridiculous. So I don't know if it is Desire or Isaac. Could you please speak
No, ma, I
if
just
you're
want to
happy?
introduce myself.
Huh? Okay, just wanted to introduce yourself. You could do that in the in-call message. We're just trying to make sure that the call is not a very rowdy one or something. So yeah, it's 8 minutes past 8. I think Chris, you can just start. So yeah, welcome everyone to today's orientation section. My name is Kausar Mushud. I'm the community manager here, and we also have Chris. Chris will be taking our onboarding section alongside other people, other team members. So yeah, welcome to today's section. So Chris, yeah, you have the floor.
Hi everyone, good evening. Please confirm you can hear me.
Oh yes, we can.
Okay, 1 second,
I
please.
hear you.
Could you just allow? Yes. So once again, good evening all and welcome. So we have about a 165 persons on the call, right? Most have rightly said, and once this call gets filled up, we're currently streaming live on YouTube, Dive Africa. So in case you have a friend that's trying to join and then they're getting bounced, you can ask them to stream live on YouTube. But while we're on the call, I would ask that we could just minimize or take a screenshot, rather, post on your socials, go to YouTube, like our page, and follow us on all over Africa. That one of the reasons is because after these sessions, your class subsequently, some of the replays would happen on YouTube. So you want to make sure that you're following it. So once your instructor gets to post a class recording, you can have access to it. Now that being said, I think it's 10 minutes past 8. We could just proceed. Please confirm if you can see my slide.
Yes, we can. We
Okay, so
can.
so so I believe this session will I should use 35 minutes for my own session, and then we'll do Q&A. So in case anyone have any question to ask, so we could just take the questions. So first, please, if you raise your hand, I may not be able to see. So you could just hold on to your question to the end of my session. So first, for this onboarding, we'll be focusing on a few areas, right? Introduction, which we already started gradually. Talk about what Dive is. We'll introduce you to the team. We'll talk about your curriculum, how your training, and what part of your training you be covered in your stack. We talk about the learning tools that you would need. Talk about how your class are structured, and the sessions that will come in between and after. Talk about assessments. I mean, we talk about community. We talk about tribes, partners, and then bootcamp and then support. Right. So first introduction. What is Dive Africa? I like to say, I like to say that is just a group of people that are driving change. Right? They are. I mean, the rest are just English, right? So the idea behind Dive is just a couple of persons that came together and say, and we saw a need, we saw a concern, and then we're trying to see how we can bridge that concern, right? So basically, that's an overview of who Dive is and what we're trying to do. We're trying to help develop the next generation of skilled Africans. So basically, that's what Dive is. And then we're looking at the possibility of raising training in 10 years between now and 2025 to train. I think someone is not muted. I can hear echoes. Please, if you're not muted, can you just stay mute? Please, can we all mute our mic because I'm hearing echoes on my end? Okay, so like I was saying, we have a vision to raise to equip 50 million Africans for global relevance, right? Now that 50 million equipping happens in we are doing tech trainings, we're just trying to bridge the accessibility gap for Africans, right? So at that we are trying to build talent. So this talent will cut across technology, will cut across businesses and entrepreneurship. So from time to time we will be having different activities happen from time to time, right? So that's what we are looking at. Now, the way we want to achieve this is by a couple of trainings, activities. And one of the training is what you guys that is what we're all discussing here on this call because most of you had applied. So um, that's what Dive is. So Dive Techstar. Now I'd already mentioned that in equipping about 50 million youths in 10 years, we are one of the channel we are using is the Techstar training. So Techstar for the Techstar we have different cohorts that happens 3 times in a year. So each of them runs for like 12 weeks, which is like 3 months. Now in those 12 weeks, those are they are rigorous 12 weeks because we try to be sure that in those 3 months we give you a very strong base from where you can build your career. Now some of us are likely, some of us are already in tech. For the textile guys, some of us are already in tech. Maybe you're in one field, you're in design, you're trying to transit to maybe product management, or that's trying to transit to front end or data, or maybe you're in product management, you're trying to upskill, so you want to learn design, or you want to learn, you want to become a technical PM, so you want to take the engineering part of PM, whatever the case might be, or you're outside of tech totally, you're just coming into tech. We carefully structure the program for to accommodate everybody, no matter your field, so anybody can get started. Now, who should attend the Dive Tech Star? Generally Africans. So on the call, now a couple of us can be. I think we had mentioned a few persons that are outside of Nigeria. So for the sign-ups we have over 20 African nations. We have about, if I can remember correctly, over 10 European countries. Now, the basic idea is we're trying to equip Africa so we can have Africans to compete in the global scale. So what will be the core focus area for this cohort 1.5? So we are focusing on majorly 7 areas. We are looking at product design, product management, data analysis, mobile engineering, web development, WordPress, backend engineering, and front-end engineering. Right. So each of these track has, I think I will get to that part later. Now talking about the instruction, or maybe I think I should. Izuchuku, please can you mute your mic, please? Mr. Izuchuku, I don't know if you can help us mute your mic. There's noise in your background. Yeah, thank you. So so for each of these core focus area for Techstar 1.5, I mean by Techstar 2.0, we'll have a couple of other tracks introduced. But for this current cohort, we have 7 tracks that we'll be working on. Now, these 7 tracks are anchored by seasoned instructors. I mean, instructors that do this in every day in their workplace. And we have seasoned mentors coming in. I mean, if you follow our social, you have seen a couple of them that we have introduced over time. Right, so we have people from different companies you can think about. So there are key milestones to this current cohort. So you have, like I mentioned earlier, it runs for each of our cohorts runs for 12 weeks. Now those 12 weeks are subdivided into 3 different sections. So we have 6 weeks of intensive training, right? So from your training would actually start by next week. So I think on Friday or Saturday, I'm not sure now. Maybe that will be communicated by before the end of the session. We'll have our individual onboarding for each of our individual tracks, right? So by the time your training starts, it will run for 6 weeks, intensive training. And then after the training, people that qualified based on certain criteria, which I'll talk about later, would be moved to the 5 weeks hands-on bootcamp. So whatever you've learned during the 6 weeks, you'll now use it to build a solution, right? You'll now be paired in teams. So an example of that would be, we'd have the product design person be paired with a product management person, paired with a data analysis person, paired with a mobile engineering, paired with backend and frontend, and then the web dev. So together, the 7 of you in a team, I mean, you guys can be more, but minimum 7 would build a solution. So you pick any solution and build. That will be your capstone project. Now, one of the things I would try to achieve on this our bootcamp is to be sure that at the end of this bootcamp, you have at least 2 capstone projects. Now, this will be like your portfolio project where you used to apply for jobs. So when you start applying for jobs, sorry, please. When you start applying for jobs, so they are very important because some of them would go live. I mean, Kausa had mentioned that you introduce yourself on the in-app messaging, in-app chats, right? So some of you would meet your next colleague, right, on this during this training. some of you will meet your co-founder right on the training, right? I mean, we'll talk about that when we start talking about the study tribe, right? And then so that's what it means now. After the 5 weeks of building a solution from design to deployment, we now have 1 week of project defense. So whatever your team has built, we now have a board member, we now have like a team presentation. So team by team present whatever they have they've built. Now, at the end of the training, you'll get 2 certifications. One from us, that signifies that you've been trained and fully trained, so you can bid for job anywhere. And the second will come from one of our partner, Getling.ai. I will introduce them later in the call. So they'll be running a bit of stuff for us, giving us a couple of trainings that would, at the end of it, will be certified. I mean, I'll talk about a couple of things that they'll be doing for us later in the call. And then you get a recommendation later. Now, for some of us that plan to Japa, in Nigeria, okay, for the sake of people that are not in this country, for some of us that plan to leave the country or to leave your country of residence, right, we could always provide a recommendation letter. But for some of us that probably your current job requires that you provide a recommendation letter, I mean, you just write us. So long as you finish the training, you finish the training session, you finish the bootcamp session, we'll give you a recommendation letter upon your graduation. And then we are working with a couple of businesses to see how we can get internship placements. So once you scale through the bootcamp section rather, we would send your resume. I mean, from time to time, we'll have HR professionals coming to help guide us on how to prepare for job, right? So at the end of this, we hope that we'll be able to help you get internship placement. So we're trying to work with a couple of businesses that could take on some of our graduates once they finish. Now, except for that, I'd mentioned GetLink as one of our partner earlier. So GetLink is our major partner, right? We are trying to make sure that everybody that is trained, that actually take this training serious, because truth is, a couple of us would, that we're over 150 on the call and a couple of others on currently streaming live. I think we have over 5,000 that applied, about over 8,000 or so. I don't know what the figure is, was admitted. Now, those numbers, a couple of them would drop off, right? So that is a given. Now, even the ones that wouldn't drop off, you want to be sure that you properly take the training well, because GetLink is one of our major. Now, one reason why GetLink is partnering with us is to help you, for some of that to transition. Let's say you're in a job that you do not like, you want to transition maybe to a track in tech. GetLink is one of our major partners that will help fasten that process. So that's why we are partnering with them. Now they have an intern pool where for everybody that finishes the bootcamp, does their project defense, they'll be activated into the intern pool, right? And then for the best team, right, I do not want to sound over promising, but there are a couple of benefits for whatever the best team is. So I'm saying that now to say that as the training kicks off next week officially, after your individual track onboarding that will happen towards the weekend, your actual classes will start next week officially. Now, as it starts, you want to be sure that every concept that is being taught, you understand it better, because your understanding is what you use to build the solution when you get to the bootcamp session. So that's that for that. Now, and what are the benefits of the bootcamp? I already mentioned a few of them. You have access to industry expert and mentors. So we have mentors that are coming in from different walks of life, all working. All the instructors that we have are all working. They're all working class people. There's nobody that is teaching theory. Now, if you're learning front end, your instructor is someone that builds front end solution every day of their life. If you're learning design, your instructors are people that are building solutions, that design solutions every day of their life, as well as your mentor. So nobody's coming to teach you theory or to explain theory for you. So everybody that's coming to teach you, they're teaching you both theory and practical. So if you say I'm teaching you how to declare a variable, I'm also that's too technical. So if I'm teaching you how to do a particular thing, I'm also showing you how that applies in real life. So that's one of the benefits. You have access to mentors and industry experts. You, by the end of this cohort, you should have at least, I mean, I recommend you do more if you have the time, but because we understand that most of us in this cohort are working class. So for that reason, we are at our minimum is that you have 2 portfolio projects. Now, one would be your personal project. An example of that would be if I'm in design track, as I'm being taught, I'm practicing, I'm developing myself. By the time I get to the bootcamp level, I'm also practicing, I'm building something. So except for the group workout will be done, we recommend that you build a personal solution. So your personal stuff and the group work will make your at least your two portfolio projects. You can get you a job anyway. Like once you have the full and complete portfolio project. So that's one of the targets that we're looking at. So across board, everybody will have the opportunity to build two portfolio projects. You don't have to take the training serious. So we have networking opportunities because we have people coming in from time to time. We have HR professionals coming and speak to us from time to time. We have experts, people that are already working that are in management role coming later. And then certificate of completion, I already mentioned that. Potential to get internship and refer, I think I already mentioned that as well. And then personal and professional growth. Now, your curriculum, which is like your learning structure. Now, the curriculum is designed based on the current market need or market trend. So every track is designed to make sure to be sure that once you're done with the training, you have the sufficient knowledge. You have sufficient knowledge to get your next job. So for people that are transitioning from, let's say, outside of tech to tech, you have sufficient knowledge to get your next job. So that's how the curriculum is designed. Now, typically this is like an overview of what the curriculum is. I think before your class starts, all of you have the opportunity to download and view your curriculum in details. But this is like an overview. We have the data analysis track. I think you guys will be talking about, you guys will be doing Excel, you guys will be doing one visualization tool, which is Power BI and Tableau. I think there'll be a focus on one and a touch on one. I'm not sure. The instructor during your onboarding will feed you more on that. And you guys will do SQL, which is also an important concept in data analysis. And then I think Python basics. And then for the product management, I mean, this is huge. You get more details upon during your onboarding, but in reality, you guys will talk about product development life cycle. You guys will talk about stakeholder management. Let's talk about prioritization framework and a couple of other things. Right? You get more details during your onboarding, and then during your when you download your curriculum. Now for the design guys, basically you guys do UX and UI, and UX is huge. So you guys do different aspects of UX, from research to concept development to research analysis, competitive analysis, and a couple of other stuffs. And then UI, you guys will talk about basic design principle, visual designs, and a couple of other stuffs. For the backend guy, I think for the mobile, that's an error. It's not supposed to be mobile. For the mobile guys, you guys will do Flutter, and that's what we are using for mobile, because Flutter is cross-functional. So for Flutter, you could build one code base and run it across both Android and iOS, instead of having to build with React Native and trying to build iOS app as well. So Flutter can help you accomplish that. So that's why I focus more on Flutter for the mobile engineering guys. And then for the front end, let's start from the basic HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and then you'll be doing React and TypeScript. I think I skipped that out. Same applies for the backend, right? Yes, so for backend, guys, you guys do HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and Node.js. That's an error on my part. So you guys will do Node.js, not React. Please pardon that. So frontend will do React, TypeScript. Backend will do Node.js, TypeScript. And then for the web development guys, strictly just WordPress, developing websites using WordPress. Now, the learning tools that you would need, I believe that we will try to communicate that from the onset. Is the basic stuff that you would need. Basically, you would need for the equipment that you need a laptop with a minimum of 8 GB RAM and Windows 8 minimum, barest minimum. Now, because particularly for the mobile guys, you want to have a very good laptop, because to run some of the stuff that you need. Engineering guys, basically, you would need a very good laptop so that you would not be having issues, as well as the data guys. And then, I mean, for the product management people, an 8 gig laptop would serve you, because you would not work with too much of heavy softwares. But your laptop should be at least 8 gig RAM. You need good access to internet, because this training is 100% virtual, right? So for that, all of your classes will be held online. The mentorship will be everything you're doing, everything that will be happening on this training will be done online. So you want good internet access and good power source. These are very key, important elements that you should have by your side. And then we recommend that if you're in this training, you should have at least 8 hours of commitment per week. Now, that 8 hours is, as I assume, you cut out 2 hours per day to practice for 4 days in a week, which is okay. Now, if you're very busy, which is very understandable, you have a full-time job that it doesn't give you so much time. If you can try and dedicate, say, 2 hours before bed or 2 hours after bed to practice, because the idea behind tech is you need to practice to know. If you do not practice, there's no way you would know. So you need practice time. We recommend minimum of 8 hours, 14 hours, to do 30 hours, whichever, but minimum of 8 hours per week would get you to your desired end, right? And then track specifics. I mean, this will be communicated by your instructor. And for each track, there are specifics that you need to fully milk the track, the training. For the engineering guys, you need the VS code. That will be communicated by your instructor. Where you need to set up an account that will be communicated by your instructor during your onboarding, individual track onboarding. So basically, that's it. And one last thing that I didn't mention here was I like to see before you kickstart the training that you have a goal, right? It makes it helps you to know what you're aiming at. You have a goal of what you want to achieve at the end of the training. So you will not just come on the training and then you spend another 12 weeks. Because if you do not have a goal, if you don't have what you're working on, the chances that you drop up is very large. Actually, you want to have a goal. It's very important. So and that's why I mentioned that the training is structured to help you achieve those goals. So that's why we have the study trial, which I'll talk about later, and other activities that will be happening just to help you achieve the goal. The idea is to help get you started. Now, if we can give you the skills that you need to get your first job, you can go on from there. So that's the whole idea. And then your class schedule sessions and assessments, right? So each of the classes will happen twice in a week. So you have each classes happen twice a week. Usually it's evening. So we try to see how we want to schedule the classes, not to cut in with so much of the activity, right? So every class, all the classes will happen during the evenings at the minimum twice a week. That's what will happen. That's how the classes will be held now. Each track will be held at different time. Some will happen on Monday evenings, Tuesday evenings, Wednesday evenings, Thursday evenings, Friday evenings, Saturday and Sunday evenings. Right? It will happen twice a week. So that way, you know that you're having. So we're not doing. We know that sometimes learning on the go can be very boring, right? And then watching videos can be very boring as well. So that's why we make it live classes. So you have instructors that teach you live. So if you're on the design track, you're designing live. If you're on the front end track, you're coding live. I mean, like that's structured differently. There's the live class where you're taught about a particular concept. Now, attending these classes are very important. I must emphasize they are extremely important. In fact, I think it's even here, part of the requirement to move from the training to the bootcamp session is that you have a minimum of 75% class attendance. So for each class, they take attendance. So you must have a minimum 75% attendance and or a minimum of 75% assignment submission, because that's what will be used for your assessment. Now, from time to time, almost after every class, you have hands-on assignments. The instructors will push out assignments to you. Now, those assignments are to help you build or master the skills that you've been taught. An example of that would be, let's say you're in the front-end class, in the front-end track, you guys talked about mobile responsiveness today. The instructor shows you how to do mobile responsiveness. You want to go back and practice because after that class, he will give you an assignment. Your submission of that assignment is very important. Now, one of the reasons why the class attendance is very important, except for qualification to move into the bootcamp session, is because every class that is held, a new concept will be taught. Now, times where new concept wouldn't be taught, it will be that there will be an extension of the old class. So if you miss one class, to affect the next class. So if we start on with let's say, let me use the design guys for example. If we start on with research and conducting research, and then we couldn't cover the topic today. By the next time we're meeting again, we're talking about maybe research analysis, or an aspect of research that you skip that. Now, every class will be recorded, right? Because we are trying to accommodate everybody, right? So we know that there are some people that maybe your work do not allow you to be attending classes, maybe you work shift, something like that, you're working at night, so you're not able to attend the classes. We try to make provision for that for you as well. So if you skip classes during the weekday, you want to be sure that you attend classes during the weekend. At least attend one classes per week, no matter how bad it is. That's one. Secondly, what will augment for your class attendance, for your skipping class attendance would be what will sorry, please, 1 second. Sorry, 1 second, please. So what will augment for your missing skipping class attendance will be your assignment submission. They're very important because this is how we know that you're following the class and you're learning. So they are extremely important that you submit, that you join classes and you submit assignment, and then there'll be a final evaluation and capstone project, which would help us decide what's next to help, how next to help you build or go to the next phase of your career. Now, every week as well, except for the classes that happen, we have mentorship sessions. So we can have somebody, an example of that, I think on the product management class, we have one of our mentors coming from, I think, the one of the lead product manager coming from Flutterwave, right? So we have different people coming from different places. So for the mobile, I think we have a couple of persons coming from different organizations that you know that some of which you know. So so let's say this week we had, let's say, for each track you have your classes happens twice a week. Now we now have mentorship session that happens every week as well. So it happens once a week. So you have a mentor comes in, take on a particular topic that you would eventually need as you grow your career and talk about it for maybe an hour plus. And except for that, we have career sessions that happen fortnightly. So at this time we have HR professionals comes on board. We talk about different aspects because at the end of your training, you get a job. This your job most times will be determined by HR professionals. They know what they want to hire. So that's why we have them come on board. So from time to time, we at every fortnightly, which is like once in 2 weeks, because you don't know what fortnightly is once in 2 weeks, we have them come on board. We talk about a particular, they pick out about pick a particular aspect and talk about it. It might be your CV review, which you would even eventually get to do with GetLinked.ai, which is one of our partners, and they're giving us discounts for that matter. So most of you will have discount you're adjusting your CV for your next role. They can be talking about maybe medium optimization. Now they'll talk about different aspects, scaling interview, what to look out for when you're applying for interview. So we have them come on board from time to time. Now, except for these standard activities that will be happening, and once in a while we'd have sessions where we'd have people that are not in the schedule, right? We'd have professionals coming, so we'd have Twitter Spaces, we'd have YouTube sessions, YouTube live sessions, we have meet and greet. We have different activities happening. So that's why I recommended that while you're still on this call, if you're not following our YouTube channel, if you go down, just minimize, go to YouTube, just search for Dive Africa, click follow and put on your notification bell because you would need it mostly for your trainings. This training that's happening, you need to be closer to our YouTube channel, right? Because most of the sessions, most of our activities will happen there. Some of your recording will be uploaded on Drive, and then some that are public will be uploaded on YouTube, so you could access it there. So it's very important that you follow. And then for some of our other activities that are not on the schedule, will be happening on maybe Instagram Live or X, formerly Twitter. So we have Twitter live sessions and Twitter Spaces within the sessions. Just the whole idea is to open you up to the different possibility, help you to see, and then help you to build your next, to grow your career, to build your next career. So that's the idea. Now, community. Now, some of us are already aware of the Slack. Now, I understand that Slack can be very confusing for some people, particularly if you're not in tech already, or if you're new to the tool. I mean, we've had a couple of persons complain about it, that it's confusing. They don't know how to navigate. Now, one of the reasons why we are using Slack, it's very important to use Slack. Now, one of the reasons is because when you eventually get a job, you would be most of your most of your most companies use Slack as their official communication channel. I mean, some of us use WhatsApp and Telegram, which is very convenient for us. But the reason why we tilted to Slack more is when you get to an organization, the chances that you'll be using WhatsApp as official communication is very slim. Like particularly if you're working for a foreign organization, you guys will be using more of Slack. These are professional communication channel. In some cases, Discord. Right. So, but for this training, we'll be using more of Slack for official communication. So all of your activities will happen on Slack. When you're grouped into see different things for mentorship, so to be happening on Slack. For all of your individual chat, it's on Slack that will happen. Now, I also okay, having should join the Slack community. Okay, we'll try and make sure that okay, hold on, just 1 second. Let me get that sorted. Hold on. Okay, so I would have a form being communicated to you now. So if you have any issue joining Slack, Kausa, quick one. Can you please provide the YouTube link? I think this meeting is already filled up and a couple of persons are having issues. I don't know if you're on the call or are they,
Oh
whichever
yeah,
is on the call.
I shared it on the Slack channel. I could just share it here also.
Yes, please put it on the chat box, please. Thank you. Thank you so very much. So, what was I saying? Now, I was saying that, Kausa, can you please mute, please? So, I was saying that,
Oh sure.
okay, thank you. So I was saying that we use Slack for our official communications. Now, if you're on Slack, I understand we've been having a bit of technical issues because of the numbers that was admitted for this cohort, right? Slack is seeing our activity as a both activity, right? So you get an invite. Now, during this call, you also get a form for those that have been admitted. You also get a form to fill, so you'll be officially invited to your individual track channel. Now, what most of you are seeing now is general channel, the announcement, general, maybe introduce yourself and all. I understand that a couple of you already have access to your individual track channels, right? A couple more haven't done their individual track channel. So we are trying to make sure that you're in the right channel that you're supposed to be. So because that's where activity and communication will happen, except for general announcement and general activity, most of the other activity will happen on your individual channel. That's where you talk about you guys will pick you get to meet your community manager. I'll introduce a few of them here. You get to meet them there. That's why you get to pick your class and your captain for your class, and then maybe in some cases that's where your tribe will be created from as well. That's where your tribe will be created from as well. So you want to be sure that you fill out the form that will be communicated shortly. I think on the chat. I don't know. Now, and the next thing is tribes. I'll talk about tribes later. So tribes is more like a study group where so we try to because we are trying to help you not fall on the wayside, which is very important. We're trying to help you milk out. We're trying to help you milk. Uh, so I'm seeing somebody ask a question. I think I'll respond to that later. So because we're trying to help you milk out the training from the benefit of this training fully. So we are creating this what we call study tribe, right? I mean, some people call it study partner, study group, we call it study tribe. So it's smaller units of about 5 to 10 people, so you guys can study together. So it's just like having an accountability partner. So that way, if an assignment was given today is what Thursday, and submitted on Saturday, sometimes you can get busy and you can even skip your mind. Maybe if you're at work, can get so busy at work and then you can skip your mind. So the idea is we're trying to help you get a study partner where they'll call you, hello, let me see names I'm seeing on my screen. Hello, Rhoda, you've not done your assignment. What's up with your assignment? Have you been able to achieve it now? And if you still get stuck and you're having issues, your study partners, your study tribe members are one of the first people that you could speak with first before. I mean, if you get stuck, you can ask the community manager and then your instructor. Right? So, but the study tribe is to help you get an accountability partner, which is very important because if you're studying alone, you can get bored and then job opportunity can be very high. So that's why we have that study tribe. And now that would happen on Slack. And for easy access, right? Sometimes if all the whole of you agree, you guys can move yourself outside of Slack to maybe an easy accessibility tool. But we usually do not advise it because I mean we've seen cases where different things happen. People try to exploit people. So that's why we like people to keep it on Slack. But however, if you feel that Telegram will faster for us to communicate with each other, meet before and after classes to move yourself out. We do not restrict it, right? But that should be done with consent, right? I think the committee guideline had been communicated earlier. But however, I feel I just noted that a few community codes, you want to make sure that you respect your fellow participants and you respect the trainers. Now, some of us I understand that some people can already be in the field. Let's say you're a designer, you're coming to upskill, and then you come. So there's one very common thing. Different organizations they have a basic rule of everything, but they play by it differently. Right. So there's no one to come and start doing, how do they call it? Like you know more than everybody in the group. I mean, you can be way ahead, miles ahead, but you can be miles ahead, but you have people that are just starting. So you want to respect their speed. You want to give them the allowance to also grow. So it's very important. And then, Mrs. Adenka, please can you mute yourself? Adenka, so you want to be Adenka Oduseye, can you please mute yourself, please? So we also have you want to say that you're collaborative and supportive. Now, we can be in the same track, and I'm having issues understanding a particular concept. If I reach out to you, if I see that during the class sessions that might be happening on a call like this, and you're following up, just enter your DM. Maybe hello BC. Can you explain this for me? Do you have like 5 minutes explain for me? So you want to be collaborative and help because we are all here to learn and grow, right? So you want to help each other and then be sure that there's no harassment. If there's any harassment, Adenika, can you please mute yourself? And then you want to make commitment to learning. Adenika, please, can you help us mute yourself? You're echoing. There's nothing in your background. Wow. Okay, thank you so very much. Thank you for meeting. So study tribe, I think I already mentioned that. So we have what we call study tribe, what you typically refer to as learning partner or study group, right? So the idea behind study tribe is to help to bring people together as accountability partners. So as we are doing the training, we can all be in data class, and then they are teaching about maybe visualization, maybe using Power BI, or they're talking about one concept in Excel, and I don't seem to be understanding, right? When we go to our study tribe, someone can explain better to me, right? Because the code can have over 50%, over 20%, over 30% in the meeting, right? So it might be difficult to get the question of everybody, but if you 1 or 2% in your study tribe would have understand the concept very well, they can explain to you better. That's why we have study tribe. I have overshot my time, so I need to round up. So that's the idea behind study tribe. So we'll be paying in different study tribe, and then you'll be notified of the study tribe, and you can pick up information from them. And then our partners. I'd mentioned our partners earlier. I'm not sure they're on the call at the moment, but our major partner is GetLinked. GetLinked.ai is an AI software. They are doing a lot. Now, for the HR professional, in case you're a HR professional, you're here, you might want to explore GetLinked. It helps streamline your hiring process from job posting to it helps you streamline your candidacy. So instead of looking at 1,000 applicants, it can help you streamline to 10, 20 most qualified applicants that you could look at. So using ATS, they have ATS installed, and then they're using AI to do a whole lot for you. So it helps ease the process for HR professionals. Now for talents, right? And I think I also skip that. It also helps to conduct what's it called now, assessment. So you can put out an assessment to all of your candidates, and then they have them take the assessment. That's what one of the getting does for you. For talent, which is a part that they will play a huge role for us for. You can do your CV review. So one of the reasons why you keep applying for a job and you keep getting bounces, and you keep getting bounces because your CV is not passing 8 years. Now, 8 years is an applicant tracking system. It's a system that helps filter out CV. So HR doesn't get to look at over 1,000 CV applicant CV. So they can look at only the very important ones. And one of the things that Getting will help you do is to help you streamline those your CV, the applicant CVs to look at a very few. Now, because of that assessment, they'll be giving us a huge discount on that. So when as you're in the training, you get to the bootcamp session, you have the use. I mean, some people will have CV assessment for free. Some of us will have 1 second, please. 1 second, please. So one of the things that will happen is, I mean, some of us will get CV review for free based on different activities that will be happening, like I mentioned already. Yes, getlinked.ai. That's what I was called. It's called getlinked.ai. Now, a couple of others would have 1 second. So a couple of us would have for free, and then we'll have huge discounts that they'll be giving us. And then I think I mentioned earlier, we'll be having assessment conducted by them. So for everybody that is in the training, you have assessment being conducted. And at the end of the training, most of us will be qualifying to their talent pool. Now I've mentioned that, and then I think they'll be certifying most of us that, okay, if you're in the data class, they'll be certifying that you're a very good data person, so you can have the certificate with you on your belt as you're applying for your next role, right? So that's one of the things that they'll be doing a whole lot for us, and that's why they're a major partner with us. So they're helping us help you land your next job, which is very important. So you can, I'm not sure you can look them up, you can sign up, but you get better details during the training. I mean, from time to time, we would have a representative of them coming. They can join your class 30 minutes before your class. They can just engage us from time to time, and that can also help us qualify for most of the freebies that they'll be giving to us. So I need to mention that. So next up would be the bootcamp. I talked so much about the bootcamp. The bootcamp is a very important time that I hope that we all qualify to. Right now, I mentioned the qualification criteria for the bootcamp. We need to have 75% class attendance and also 75% minimum 75% assessment submission. So every time you're giving an assessment, you want to make sure that you submit it. You do it and then you submit it. Now the bootcamp is very interesting because you won't just be learning theory, you'll be building solutions. Now some of the solutions during the where all your messages cannot be bad. Some of these solutions during the defense time would have different people come on board. I mean, you can just get someone sponsor, get interested in what you guys are building, and you guys can proceed from it to make it a startup. We've seen people join our bootcamp like this, and then they would at the end of the bootcamp session, they would come together and say, this is now we built. I think it's a problem. Can we just push it live? And then they'll start pushing it gradually, and it can just become the next startup. You really can't see, right? Now, it can be, if it's a major problem, you can just talk to the next startup too. But it's very important because you're bringing theory to practice. So when you start working in an organization, whatever you've learned in theory, you've practicalized it, so it becomes easier to fit into the organization. So it's a very important aspect that you want to take note of. And then the team members, okay, so we have, so the way the entire thing is structured, we have the admin, which would have been reaching out to you, which you'd have been getting mails from. So we have about 12, we have James, and then we have ADM, we have getting mails from them. And then we have our community managers that is led by Moshood Kausa, which is the beautiful lady that you heard her voice earlier. So she's leading the entire community management. So for each track, we have each committee, we have a community manager that manages each track. Now, the idea is to help support you, just to provide support structure for you during the training. So we have people that will be helping support, communicate assignments to you, remind you of assignment submission. If you have any questions, they would always respond to you. If you have any concern, they'll reach out to you. Now, one of the things that community manager will be doing for you is because we have instructors. Instructors are people that have a full-time job. All our instructors have full-time job working. I mean, you could breeze through our LinkedIn or our X page or our Instagram page, look out for your instructor, look out for where they work, look out for the mentors in your track, look out for where they work. You know that these guys are very important people and very busy people. Right? So because they are very busy, you do not want to carry a seemingly I wouldn't say less important, but it's a simple question that even your class member would help you answer to be disturbing their GM, right? Because now imagine in a class of over 100 or over 200 people, let's about 70% are DMing your instructor. How many people will you be able to answer to respond to? Right. So that's why we recommend the KIDA. Now, before you reach out to an instructor, you'll be sure that you've tried to get response between your study tribe. If that is not possible, you can bring it to the entire class, which will be added to after this call, maybe during or after this call. If you skip that, if that is if the response is not good, the community manager would help you. Community manager for that track would help you respond to that. Now, if that's not possible, then we cannot have the instructor coming. Like, I mean, else the instructor can just come in during the training. I mean, you can always pop up your question and then give a response to that. Now, I also need to mention that you'll be sent an invite you'll be added to your individual tracks, which are locked, which are in private. But however the case might be, we strongly recommend that you do not join because people can be very strange and funny. So we recommend that you do not join a track that does not belong to you. Because once audit is done and you're found in a track that does not belong to you, it can lead to automatic disqualification. Even if we're on the last week of the training or on the last week of the bootcamp, it can lead to automatic disqualification. So we recommend that you stay on your track. So that way you're not spamming on other tracks. Focus. The idea is focus. Focus on why you are here. If you're here to learn data, focus on the data. We'll try and make sure that every resources that you need is available. That's why we have both instructors and mentors to help guide you. If you're here to learn, design, focus. The idea is focus. Focus on what you're here to learn. So you shouldn't leave where you're supposed to be to somewhere else. That can lead to automatic disqualification. If you're seeing, or if audit is carried out and then you're seeing where you're supposed to be, it can lead to automatic disqualification. So I am pleading that it is very important. I am emphasizing it is very important that you try and stay where you're supposed to be. It is very important. Right. So I've mentioned about the team, and I'd mentioned that. So what next after this call? So what do you want to do? What do you want to do next? You want to prepare for your next session. How do you prepare your next session? I already mentioned the two that you need. Make sure that if you had your laptop kept somewhere, you want to pick it up, dust it, clean it up, make sure that it has good backup, you have good power source, you have access to internet. You want to be sure of that. And then you want to be sure that you're on Slack. If you're not on Slack, you can send a mail to james@divehq.org. If you're not on Slack, I repeat again, you can send a mail to james@divehq.org. However, you'll get a mail. I think that sent out the last mail, but I'll plead with the admin and the community manager, and with the admin that we should try and put out one more last mail for tonight. So in case you skip it, which you could understand, you could always join, and then you will get a form, maybe during this call or after this call on the Slack channel, that will be requesting that you fill out. So that way you'll be added to your individual track. It is very important. Yes, you will get a form for that. Let me have them send it to you. Okay, I would have them send it to you as well. I can do that myself after my session, and then resources and links. So you from time to time you will get resources, you get links, and then after this call, I think your next onboarding would be Friday and Saturday for different tracks. So you have where you get to meet your instructor in person. You would need to now guide you on what to prepare for your next for the training that will start eventually next week. The training that will start eventually next week. So you get to meet your instructor. I think you should. I'm not sure there's an onboarding schedule for tomorrow, but I know it begins from Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. You have different onboarding sessions. That will be communicated anyways on your individual track, which will be added between today and tomorrow. So a couple of persons had reached out and asked, okay, so what if I'm working? I'm I'm not able to meet up with the class time because different class time you would eventually get a schedule, however. But let me give you an idea of what the classes will look like. The backend class would hold every Tuesday and Friday, I think between 7 and 9. These are like an idea. You get a proper schedule later. Between 7 and 9, would have the WordPress class held fixed Sunday and one other days during the week. Would have the front end class that would hold Wednesdays and Saturdays, 8:15 to 10 p.m. Would have the product management class that would hold every um, product management would hold every Tuesday and Saturday, 7 to 9 p.m. We have data class would hold 3 times in a week. Fixed is Monday and Sunday, and then sometimes Thursday. So you have Monday, Thursday, and Sunday, 7 to 9 p.m. We have the design class hold every Tuesday and Thursday, 8 p.m., 8 to 9:30 p.m. And we have the mobile engineering class held every Monday and Thursday, 8:50 to 10 p.m. Now, in between those days, in between the week, we'll have the mentorship session hold each of those days. So you'll get a proper communication after the session. And then, I was mentioning that, sorry that I've overshot my time, but I think this is the last slide, or second to the last, or next to the last. So I was mentioning that, so in case you missed the classes, the recordings will be made available. Every class recording will be made available for you to rewatch. That's why I am restating again. If you're not for YouTube now and follow the channel, I think it will put it on the in-app chat, and else the in-app chat, if you just go into and search for Dive Africa, make sure you're following our YouTube channel. It is very important. You will need to watch most of your replay there. Most of these other sessions that will happen outside the proper normal schedule would happen there as well. So you want to follow our YouTube channel. It is very important. So if you miss classes, you could join that. What if I miss a class? You watch the replay. The replay will be made available. And then if you need an extra help, and that we have a study tribe that could help you get the help that you need. And then you have your community managers, you have community managers, you have admins, you have your instructor, and then you have mentors that will come in if you need any help. So it's a whole lot that is happening, but you want to be sure that you're milking it. So you have to focus and put in all the efforts. So here we want to learn, grow, transform. So let's just dive. So I think I've come to the end. I overshot my time. I was supposed to 30 minutes. I used about 40 minutes. So I think that being said, I have come to the end of my slide and all the conversation. I am not sure I skipped so much. I know I skipped, but not so much. So at this point, I will take questions. We'll just do questions for 10, 15 minutes, and then we'll call it a day. So, Kaus, I don't know if you're still on the call. Maybe you want to lead that. If there are any questions that you need to answer, you need clarity on anything, you could put it on the chat box, please, so we don't have people type in randomly. Put it on the chat box, very important, please. So I'll take questions now. And if you have any questions, you could put it on the chat box. Without Kaus, I see on this call, please confirm for me. I think she's having issues with my network. So, okay, I'll take questions. Just type on the chat bot now. I'll be running through the chat bot, and then I'll take questions. I will try and respond to questions as much as I can for the next 12 minutes. I'm looking at the chat bots. Thank you for the much orientation. Can you get the link to the form? Okay, the link to the form. So let me get that for you. So this is the link to the form for your individual track. Please make sure that you fill it. Please make sure that you fill this form This is the link to the form. I pinned it. So try and make sure that you fill it. Let me drop it on Slack as well. So for people that are on YouTube, so I'll be toggling between YouTube and um, and and Meet. So um, if you're there, you could just as well leave your message on Slack. I'm trying to toggle between the three of them to look at the questions. So you could so you could fill the form and then you'll be added before COB today. So I dropped it on Slack. You could look at it. It's also pinned here. When is the class and how do we know you meet with 75% attendance? So you will be communicated. The idea is be sure that you attend classes, you submit assignments. You would, from time to time, you'll be communicated what your percentage is as you proceed. I mean, so that you know if you qualify. How is attendance taken for each class? So attendance will be taken by different methods. Some would happen right on the call. You guys will have like a sheet that you just fill. I think your community manager will communicate more on that, but I think that's usually what will happen. At any time on the call, you have attendance taken, and you just have a form, just fill it just straight up. It's not so much that you need to bother about. So long as you're on the call, you fill assignment, you fill attendance. What if I will be missing a class? How do I ensure that I'll be covered? Am I supposed to inform the captain? Yes, this is a very important question. Question that I skipped. I was asking by Oluwatimileyin. So if I know that I won't be able to attend the class, so let's say I'm at work, I live in Lagos at the moment. So let's say I live in where in Lagos is very far. Let me say I live in Ikorodu. I think Ikorodu is very far. Let me say I live in Ikorodu, or like the parts I live in Lagos, maybe Ekpe. I don't know how far Ekpe is. Maybe Ikorodu that is already living in Lagos, or Bega. Yes, I know Bega is very far. It's almost at the boundary of Lagos. I live in Bega, or I live in Ikorodu, and I work somewhere in Aja. Now, Aja to Ikorodu is a very long distance, and my class is scheduled to hold by 7. As at 7, I'm still on Third Mainland Bridge, right? I know that there's no way I would get home and be able to join the class. Now, one of the things I want to do is reach out to your community manager. It is very important. Speak with your class captain, reach out to your community manager. I mean, every class will have a captain. Speak with your captain, reach out to the community manager. So they would so that way you'll be noted and you'll be covered. It is very important. But if that happens consistently, then it can be a concern. Now, if you reach out to your community manager, you'll be noted. Now, by the next class, you should be able to be available by the next class. That's why we try to make sure that classes happens twice a week. So you at least you have to attend one in a week. It's very important. So you cannot miss 2 classes in a week consecutively. You're already putting yourself to risk. So you speak with them, speak with people on time, so you'll be covered. And if you register for one track and you are probably going to another track. Okay, so this was a deliberation earlier today. I remembered a couple of persons said they registered for one track, and then by the time they made the few research, they wanted to move to a different track. So we are giving the allowance for that because training has not officially started. If you feel like you want to move to a different track, so what we are doing for you now is this form that have been communicated now on Slack and on Slack and on Slack and on the chat bot. I think I pinned it. This link that has been communicated now, fill the new track that you want to move to. So if you had registered for, let's say, backend engineering or maybe data analysis, and then you went to read about it, you feel like, okay, or maybe you're registered for product design, and then you're making a research, you feel like, okay, I want to do data analysis, I want to go to from time to time do WordPress. As you're filling this form, be sure that you're putting the new track you want to move into. That's the only way we can help you. After this period, there's almost no help we could provide again. This is the only way we think that we wanted to help. We want to help people that want to shift tracks. Since the training has not officially started. But once the training officially starts, it might be so much, it might not even be possible, but it might be so much to accomplish. Right. So I think that is a response to that. This criteria for bootcamp, yes. The criteria for the bootcamp again is you must have attended 75%, you must have 75% class attendance and or 75% class submission. Now, I'm saying and or because we understand that most of us are working and it might be difficult to have to attend the classes. Right? So we are making allowance for that. Now, if you skip classes, you want to watch recording. As you're watching the recording, you want to be sure that you're doing the assessment. That's the only way we can be sure that, okay, maybe work is not permitting you to join the classes, but you want to follow. So we are making allowance for you for that. So if I skip classes during the week because of my work, maybe I work at night or something, and once I get home, I rest a bit, I want to watch the recording. If an assignment was given, I want to do the assignment and then submit the assignment. So that's the only way the instructor will know that you're following the classes. So that's why it is anchored. Now, based on that, from time to time you'll be communicated that if you're qualified for the bootcamp, you'll be communicated that session to the bootcamp session and then paired in a team, where in that team you have a mentor, you have an instructor that will be overseeing those things as you're building solutions. Yeah. Yes, class start next week. On the 3rd of February, classes start next week. So for some classes that happens on Monday, start on Monday evening. For classes for some classes that happen on Tuesday, start from Tuesday. But this weekend, you have individual track orientation that will be anchored by your instructor. Yes, I think that answers that. Is it possible to change track that was chosen? Because I think I already answered that. The link is not on Slack. I already posted the link. You can check again. Please, can you send the link for the form? I just did that. You can check again. I miss the time for the web. The time for the web dev is you guys would get the class schedule for all the classes, right? You would get that communicated to you by your community manager in each of your tracks. Right? But however, the web dev is 5 to 7 p.m. Sundays fixed, and any other day within the week, which your instructor will be communicated to you, because your instructor is somewhat very busy. I must say that. I mean, I mentioned that all our instructors are working, they are very busy people. So the available fixed day for him. So part of the reason is because we didn't mention what I want to say something. But part of the reason is because he works for a foreign firm. I know how the time differences can be most of the time, and he works for Nigeria. Okay, I don't want to say that, but he works for a foreign organization, and time difference is so much for him. So that's why he could accommodate Sunday evenings, 5 to 7 p.m. And then any other day between that he feels that he has allowances, we just communicate. I mean, it's conversation. You have to have conversation and communication between yourself. And then the design days happens on Tuesdays and on Thursdays, 8 to 9:30. You'll get more details on that later by your instructors and then by community manager. The link to the form, I've posted that already. Product management class, yes. PM classes, Tuesdays and Saturdays, 7 to 9 p.m. And those are the classes. Now, I mentioned this for the classes. We have mentorship sessions that happen within the week as well. Outside the classes, we have mentorship sessions. So we have mentors from different walks of life, comes in from mentors in your field, coming from different organizations to talk to you about like a particular. It might just be a concept that they are applying their organization or something that you just need to know as you're building your career. So that will also be communicated. But these are the class days that are fixed. Mobile classes Mondays and Thursdays, 8:15 to 10 p.m. You get more details on that on Slack and by your community manager. I think I've answered most of the questions there. Will the time for classes be posted on the announcement platform? Yes, you get time for the classes. You get time for the classes. You get time for the time for the classes. Your curriculum will be communicated to you on Slack. So you get even your mentorship session will be communicated to you on Slack. You get that before the week runs out. I mean, before your next orientation by your instructors, you get that communicated to you. Data analysis class, my network was okay. I mentioned that the DA class happens on Monday, Thursday, and Sunday, 7 to 9 p.m. Right? Mondays and Sundays fixed. Thursdays happens once in a while, but these are the 3 days: Monday, Thursday, and Sunday, 7 to 9 p.m. Because the class is huge and we have about 10 instructors for the class. So, is it possible to change one choosing track? Yeah, I think I already mentioned that you can, as you're filling this form now, you could make sure that you impute the new track that you want to join. I already mentioned that. Please call the email again. So I mentioned that if you have issues, let's say you're not invited to Slack, you could send an email to James JAMES@divehq.org. If someone would help attend to that, and please you can just join an invite. Actually, so just fill the form that we sent to you, but make sure that I think I skipped this. Be sure that you are already on the on the Teams workspace. So you're already on Dive workspace. So that's the only way you can join the track that's assigned to you. Be sure that you're on Dive workspace before you can join. Now that's what that means you have accepted the invite to Slack. So you're on the workspace, then you cannot be invited to your individual track. And except for that, I'd mentioned that I want to emphasize that again. Please and please do not join any track that does not belong to you. That can lead to an automatic disqualification. Please and please. Because if an audit is done and it is noticed that you're in a track that you're not supposed to be in, even if you're in the last week of the training or in the last week of the bootcamp, it can lead to automatic disqualification. Please. So you won't say that somebody is doing you bad and all of that. Please do not join a track that does not belong to you. Extremely important. Please and please. So you can benefit better from it, which is very important. We want you to be able to benefit better from this thing. So please and please, again, not join a track that does not belong to you. Please and please, not join a track that does not belong to you. So I think that answers that. So it is getlinked.ai, GETLINKEND.ai. I mean, you could look them up. There are a couple of stuff that they'll be doing for us, right? I don't know if you signed up now, but I mean, you'll get more communication on that, about that, and they will engage us from time to time. Most of the time, they will join our calls, our classes, 30 minutes before our class starts, just to prep us, get us, talk to us a few times, and then just engage us. Now, they'll be doing CV review. I mentioned that they'll be doing CV review for us at a discounted rate, and some of us, as activities happens on during our training, that when they come to engage us, because some of us can get a free CV review, who knows, right? So that's one of our major part, and then at the end of the day, most of us will be qualified to join their talent pool, and they will satisfy most of us. Yeah, I think that's most of the question. You're able to join Slack community. Send a mail to James at divehq.org. James at divehq.org. They would have an invite sent to you. So I think I answered most of the questions. I've answered most of the questions, and I'm not sure there are any new questions. Slack app, when the 11-day trial. Okay, so now because most of you are guests on the Slack workspace, so that's why you're seeing the 11 days trial. By tomorrow, it should be 10 days trial. So you could just ignore that. Now, the only disadvantage for you as a guest on the workspace is that after the trial expires, conversion that happens 3 months, that happens 3 months ahead, you will not be able to see them. So conversions that are happening now, 90 days from now, you'll be able to see them. I mean, by 90 days, we'll already be done with this cohort. Because you're a guest, that's why you're seeing the trial version, the trial notice. So you could just ignore that, right? I mean, from the admin end, that's not showing because it's premium. But because you're a guest, that's why you're seeing that. So you could just ignore that. Did I miss any question? My question is, you made mention of the bootcamp. Isn't that what we're starting now? Okay, so I'd mentioned that earlier. Let me restate that. So this cohort, this training, and generally it's called bootcamp, right? It's sectionized into 3 different sections. So we have the hands-on training where you will learn the theory of anything that you've signed up for. If you signed up for design, you're learning theory of design from the UX, ideation part, research, analysis, user journey, until you get to UI designs. You're learning everything theory. And for the front end guys, for the engineering guys, you'll be learning HTML, CSS, JavaScript, React in theory. Now, when I get to the hands-on bootcamp, whatever you've learned in theory, when you're learning theory, you learn in parts. Now, on the hands-on bootcamp, you'll now be paired in teams. So as a designer, you would have to design a solution that the mobile guys would implement, the front-end guys would implement, and the back-end guys would implement, as well as the data guys would do a couple of analysis. So you paired in teams to build a solution. So that's why we call it hands-on bootcamp. So that way, you have a production level experience. So you know that you didn't just learn something that you've not used before. So if you're applying for a job or if you're doing an interview, if you ask them, do you have any life projects? You could always refer to your capstone project. Okay, so I have one, maybe one app on one side that is life, because I don't know if they will give free credit to to a few of the best teams to host some of their project life. Right. So you want to be sure that, and so that's how it's structured, right? So the entire thing is bootcamp, but we have a training first, then you have some bootcamp where you now spend another 5 weeks building solution. So some team will building position in finance, which is like fintech, some will building in health tech, some will building e-commerce. Now those will give you professional level experience, which will not take to the last section, which is like defense and presentation. You now defend whatever your team has presented. I hope that answers your question. Recording and slide will say yes, you get to recording and slide for each of the sections. So every session that happens, and most of your instructors will be using slides. They will share the slide with you. Some of them, like engineering guys, you'll be having maybe so if you guys are building something online, maybe you guys are having a live coding session, the instructor will make available that file for you where you can look at and as your practice in case you get stuck, that will be made available for you. They're just to help you get better. That's the whole idea. For the backend classes, you also study the front end. Nope. So the way the engineering track backend and front end is structured, right? There's a likelihood that the backend and front end would start off together because they are doing similar languages. I think I was going to mention that. So you guys will do HTML, CSS, and JavaScript together, right? Because they are the same thing. Now, after that, you guys will now be splitted. So the backend guys now go to their backend class and focus on their backend class, where they'll now be learning Node.js, which is like a framework of JavaScript. While the front end guys will now go to the front end where they'll now be learning React, which is like a framework for front end, a framework of JavaScript for front end. So that's how the backend is structured. Now for the design and the product management, because at some point in product management, you need to understand some concept of design. So from time to time, you might be joining some design classes. So let's say when the design class, they're going to be having maybe they want to talk about user journey. These are things that you learn or building a couple of stuff. See, a typical example would be user journey. You might want to join. So these are times where you have pair classes together. This is what happens from time to time for some of the tracks, not all the tracks, but for some of the tracks. Right? So that's how it's designed. I mean, you get better information as time goes on. My question is, you made mention of the bootcamp. Is okay. I think I've answered that already. Class recording will be available. When are we getting started with? When are we getting the class curriculum? You will get that before your next onboarding. So after this onboarding that we're having now, we'll have individual onboarding that will start on Friday and Saturday and Sunday. Start Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. You have individual onboarding. So each of the tracks that you belong to, you get an invite first to the channel, and then you get your curriculum right there on your channel, and it will also be sent to your mail, and then you will get you'll be notified of the day of your onboarding by your instructor. So the way I'm talking to you now as the project lead, and that's how your instructor will be speaking to you. So you get to meet all of your instructors. Now for each track, except for the web development, has a minimum of 2 instructors. Some has 3, but has a minimum of 2 instructors. So you get to meet those instructors. So you get to meet them in person. You guys will have a conversation. They'll tell you who they are, tell their background, and then if you have any question at all, you get to speak with them. So that's it for that. I hope that answered your question. Is it, if the backend and frontend code codes the app, does it mean the app will be like? Yes. So the idea behind the hands-on bootcamp is by the time your team, backend, frontend design, product management, data analysis, all of your team together build a project, we encourage that the project should go live. So we will try and give credit units to a few teams that will come up best. I mean, Getlink has a lot of packages for us that I don't want to unveil now, but one of the packages that they will have is, I don't know if I should say this now, but let me just say it since I'm already on the conversation, is the best team would have so much PRO from Getlink and so much benefit from Getlink. They have a whole lot that they have packaged for us, the best team. But however, Dive Africa as a team, we're trying to see how we can provide credit for the best for a few teams. So whatever you build as a team, we'll try and make sure it is live. So there is one of the reasons why it should be live is so that when you're bidding for your next job, you'll be able to use it as a live project. So let's say you guys work on an e-commerce project, or a health tech project, you can always reference your next by the time you're doing your next interview. So okay, they are saying you have any life project, have a life project, give them the link, you try and check it up. So that's why we try and make sure that it is live. But I mean, between yourself, you can also try and see how possible you can put it live, but try and provide credit for a few team. Yet, so I think this will be the last question because we overshot our time. Samson Adekoya, April 12 concepts, is asking if it's going to be all free. So yes, and yes, capital YES, yes. The entire training is all free. You're not paying for a dime. You're not paying a penny. It's all free. So the idea is we are trying to reduce the financial barrier of entry. I mean, the way I just started off from, I've had a couple of persons spoken and reach out to me. I want to learn this thing. Me as a person, I have a job. I must say that I have a full-time job, so I do not have all of the time to sit and be coaching different people one at a time, right? So that's where most of the ideas started from. Right, so I know a couple of persons that want to switch to tech, they want to switch career, they want to build a better life, but they cannot afford to pay for some of the expensive tech programs that we have out there today. I know you know most of them, and you know what their tuition is. Now they are very expensive. So one of the things that we're trying to do is to help give you a baseline. So that's where the whole idea started from. So I spoke with a few of my friends. Most of them are the admin, most of them are the community managers. Okay, so let's just see how we can help a lot of persons. Let's see what we can do to help people. Right. So I mean we came up with the idea of the Dive Africa concept, and then we started. So before we came to this skill, we had been doing it at a lower level. So we just decided that okay, so let's push it live. Let's make it let's make more people to come into it, and then see how far we can push it beyond Nigeria, and see how far we can help a couple of persons outside of Nigeria and Africa at large, because Africa is so much. I mean, there's so much to talk about. So I don't want to go into detail of that. That's where, so most of the funding is coming from, so the resources, time, resources, and any other thing you can think of is coming from the organizers, the instructors, and the partners. Now, an example of that would be as part of the organizer, I'm spending a lot to make this happen. Partner is supporting us with a lot to make sure that most of you get a very good career, and the instructors are also helping us with a lot, right? I mean, some of them have to avail. Some of them it's really not convenient for some of them. When I spoke with some of them, it's really not convenient for some of them, but because they want to pour back out to the community, that's why they've opted in. And I would say that I'm someone that is very grateful, and gratitude is one part of me. I would say that from time to time, you guys can reach out to your instructor, just send an appreciation message to them, just appreciate them. I mean, once you get to meet them, because these guys have full-time jobs, they have a primary source of income. I had to plead with them to see how they can contribute. So training is entirely free from this onboarding that we're having now. The training session and the bootcamp session, they are entirely free. In fact, you even be getting more stuff from us. The idea is to get you started. So we're not charging now, and we'll not charge in the future. I mean, we don't know how things might happen, but we do not plan to charge in the future. We want to make it all free so that low income and no income earners can be able to build a career. So the only part that you have to play is to be sure that you have the equipment that you need, because it's 100% virtual. You have access to a laptop. You might not own a laptop. Right? I think I need to mention that you may not really necessarily own a laptop. It might just be you have a friend that you could borrow a laptop from. I mean, I know people that started out like I would borrowing a laptop. I know one of my friends that works in a very big insurance company decided of borrowing a laptop. I mean, you get to see him anyways. We share some of the stories, right? So you could borrow a laptop. The idea is have access to a laptop, access to internet. So you're going to join the classes. These are the two things you need to do, and then put in the effort. So by the time we are at the end of the training, we want to have testimonials. We want to have people say, okay, I joined at this particular moment, and this is where I am. So I like to recommend that you record or take notes of where you are now, the things you know, I think that will be communicated to us anyways. If you can't do a video, if you can't take notes, you can be typing right on your jotter where you are now. So as you proceed, you're able to track your growth process. So yeah, that's it. So it's entirely free. You have nothing to worry about. You won't be charged to. We will not ask. In fact, we will not ask to pay for certificates. I know that's what most people do. They will say, okay, oh, it's free, oh, but you have to pay for certificate, or you have to pay to join bootcamp. That's entirely free. The bootcamp is free, certificate is free, so you're all good and covered. Yes, there's Google Classroom. That's where you submit most of your assignments. I mean, you get details of all of that, so you shouldn't worry about that so much. But you get details of all of that. So the registration has closed officially. I mean, we had a whole month to take registration, so it has closed officially. However, I'll speak with, I don't know if I'm allowed to do this, but I'll speak with the admin guys and see if they can have an allowance, but the registration has closed. I would love to volunteer in the future when I finish the class. You would be much welcome. In fact, you can even volunteer now, sir, because it's a whole lot of work that we have to do. You can even volunteer now. That's how your midi billing. But however, you'll be much welcome by the next cohort. Our next cohort will happen, you would get a notice anyways. So, but you're much welcome. We really appreciate your volunteering. Thank you. I really so I think that's all for now. Can I use iPad so? So iPad would work depending on the track that you're in, right? For design, no, sorry, pardon me. For I think for PM to a level, you could use it and not so much. I mean, when you start building roadmaps, you need a laptop. But for the start, iPad could work. When you start doing prioritization, when you have to deal with documents, iPad could work. But when you start doing serious stuff, iPad may not work. So you want to get a laptop. So I think I've taken so much of our time. It's 9:30 on the dot. So this would call it a day. So let's call it a day here. So once again, thank you so very much. My name is Christopher Anyedi. That's my name. So in case you're asking for my name, so that's what my name is. So I think we've talked so much, we spent so much time. I overshot my time. So going forward, you will get much conversation from on the Slack channel, and then if you email. But please do endeavor to fill out the form. It is extremely important. Extremely important. I'm posting the link again. Endeavor to fill out the form. It is very important. So that being said, good night. Bye. Do enjoy the rest of the night. You'll get another conversation from our committee managers. Bye for now. So much, Kausa, over to you.
Yeah, you've said a lot, Chris. I mean, I had to even take a pen, a jotter to just jot one or two things so I could not skip so many things. So yeah, thank you very much, Chris. Thank you very much, Dive Africa, for this wonderful section. It's late already, so I think everybody could go and rest now so we could just get pumped up against tomorrow or the next meeting would have. So yeah, I want to say thank you all for joining today's call. Have a good night rest. Bye.